1. Introduction. My name is Deborah. I am 58 years old. I live in a quiet house now. It is a big house, but it feels empty most of the time. My 3 sons are grown. They are all married and have their own families. They have moved away from this town. They live far from me now. They do not contact me. I do not receive phone calls from them. They do not send letters or emails. This makes my days very long and often very sad. Every morning I wake up and the house is silent. There is no one else here. I make breakfast, but only for one person. I cook a small amount of food. Sometimes I do not feel like cooking at all. The kitchen feels too big and empty for just one plate and one cup. I eat my meal in silence. There is no one to talk to. There is no one to share a laugh with. It is a lonely way to start the day. After breakfast, I try to find things to do. I clean the house, moving from room to room. I read books, trying to lose myself in stories. I watch television, hoping to forget my situation for a while. But the silence is always there, a constant presence. It follows me like a shadow. It is a heavy silence, like a thick gray blanket that covers everything. In the afternoon, I might go to the local market. I buy food, but always for one person. There is no one to ask, "What would you like for dinner?" When I come home, the quiet house welcomes me again. The feeling of isolation returns. In the evening, I prepare dinner. Again, it is just for me. The dining table has seats for 6 people, but only one chair is ever used. I sit there, eating slowly, listening to nothing but the quiet. Sometimes I hear the old clock ticking loudly. Sometimes I hear the wind making soft sounds outside. These small noises only make the deep silence feel even bigger. I often think about my 3 sons. I remember when they were small children. The house was always full of noise and laughter then. There were toys everywhere, and their voices filled every corner. Now the rooms are tidy and clean, but they are empty of life. There are no shouts, no running feet, no happy voices, just silence. This change is difficult for me. When night comes, the silence gets even deeper. I sit in the living room, sometimes with the television on, but I do not really watch it. I just want some background noise to fill the quiet emptiness. Before I go to bed, I look around the house one last time. It is clean. It is orderly. But it is not a home filled with warmth or the sounds of a family. It is just a house where one woman lives alone. This daily routine shows my deep isolation. It shows how truly alone I am in this big, quiet house. My life is full of loneliness, and the silence is my constant companion day after day. 2. My husband left. I remember the day my husband left me. It was a clear morning, but for me, everything turned dark and cold. We had been together for many years, sharing our lives, our dreams, and our home. I loved him deeply, and I believed he loved me too. But that morning, he told me something that changed my world forever. His voice was calm, but his words were like a storm inside my heart. He looked at me and said, "Deborah, I am leaving." I could not believe it. My mind refused to accept his words. It felt like a bad dream. I asked him why, and his answer brought a terrible, sharp pain. He told me I was too old for him. He said he had found a younger woman. She was new, he said, and full of life. He wanted that newness. He wanted a different future, one without me. His words, "too old," kept repeating in my head. They cut deep and made me feel small and unwanted. He spoke of her with a light in his eyes, a light that had disappeared when he looked at me. This made the pain much worse. My heart felt as if it had broken into 1,000 pieces. The world around me seemed to stop. My chest felt tight, like a strong band was squeezing it. My breathing became shallow. My hands trembled, and I felt cold, even though it was not a cold day outside. I stood still, watching him. He went to our bedroom and started to pack his things. He put his clothes into a suitcase, one by one. He did not look at me. He did not say another word. Every item he placed in that bag felt like a part of our life being thrown away. I watched his back as he moved, and I could not speak. My throat felt tight, and my eyes were dry, even though my soul was crying. After a short time, his bag was full. He zipped it shut. He walked out of the bedroom, past me, and towards the front door. He opened the door. The sound of the latch clicking was very loud in the quiet house. He stepped outside. He did not turn around. He did not wave goodbye. He just walked away, out of my sight. Then the door closed. The sound echoed in the empty space he left behind. The closing door was not just a sound, it was a final period on our life together. It was the end of our story. That moment felt like the end of everything. My world, as I knew it, had truly ended. The man I had loved for so long, the father of my 3 sons, was gone. The pain was deep, a heavy weight in my chest that stayed for a long time. It was not just sadness. It was a profound heartbreak that took my breath away and left me empty. I felt lost and completely alone. I thought I would never be happy again. The idea of joy, of laughter, seemed impossible. My future looked empty, a long, lonely road stretching out before me. Every memory we had now felt tainted with this sorrow. I believed that day was the last day I would ever truly smile. The sadness stayed with me. 3, I was alone. The house was very quiet. It was too quiet. The silence became my only friend. It was always there, around me, inside every room. It was not a nice silence. It was a heavy silence. It felt like a big, empty space. Every morning, the silence woke me. Every evening, it put me to sleep. I heard no voices. I heard no laughter, only the quiet sound of nothing. This quiet made me feel very sad. I often sat in the living room. I looked at the phone on the table. It was black and still. I wanted it to ring. I hoped it would ring. Maybe my sons would call. Maybe someone else would call. But the phone never made a sound. It stayed quiet all day. It stayed quiet all night. Hours passed. Days passed. Weeks passed. The phone did not ring. Each time I looked at it, my heart felt a little heavier. I felt a deep sadness inside me. I thought about my 3 sons. I imagined them coming to my door. I pictured their smiles. I heard them saying, "Hello, Mom." I would sometimes clean the house more carefully. I would buy extra food from the shop, just in case they decided to visit me. I looked out the window often. I watched the street. But no car stopped outside my house. No footsteps came up the path. The door stayed closed. They did not come. I felt like a ghost in my own home. Did anyone remember me? Did anyone think about me? It felt like I was not there. It felt like I was invisible to them. My own family, my sons, had forgotten me. This thought was very painful. It hurt my heart deeply. To be alive but unseen was a strange and difficult feeling. To be a mother but without her sons was a sad reality. I was simply a woman left alone. At night, the darkness came. And with the darkness, the tears came too. I lay in my bed. The house was dark and quiet around me. I could not stop the tears. They ran down my face onto my pillow. I asked the empty room, "Why am I alone?" I asked. Why did they leave me? I missed my family so much. I missed their voices. I just wanted someone to be there, someone to talk to, but there was no one. Only the silence. Every day was the same, waiting, hoping, feeling sad. The silence became my only companion. It was always there, but it offered no comfort. It only reminded me of what I had lost. It reminded me of the people who were gone from my life. I felt completely forgotten, completely alone. My heart ached with this feeling. I wished for a different life. A life with laughter. A life with family. But this was my life now, a life of quiet, a life of loneliness. For a lucky day. One day, the quietness in my house felt very deep. Every day was the same. I felt tired of this. I wanted to do something new just to make a small change. That morning, I walked to the local shop. It was a cold day. Inside, I saw lottery tickets. I had never bought one before. I did not think about winning. It was just a small piece of paper, but I bought one. It felt different. I put the ticket in my pocket. I went home. I had no real hope of winning a prize. It was just a small break from my usual day. The next week, I was tidying the kitchen. I saw the lottery ticket on the table. I had almost forgotten it. The newspaper was open nearby with the winning numbers. I thought I should check my ticket. It would take only a moment. I picked up the ticket. My hands were calm. I did not expect anything. I started to compare the numbers one by one. The first number matched. That was a small surprise. Then the second number matched, and then the third. My heart beat a little faster. I looked closely. The fourth number matched. My breath stopped. The fifth number matched too. Finally, I looked at the last number. It was also the same. All 6 numbers on my ticket were the winning numbers. I sat down quickly. I felt a great shock. I could not believe what I was seeing. I picked up the ticket and the newspaper again. I checked the numbers 3 more times. They were truly the same. I had won. I had won a very, very large amount of money. It was a big prize. I had never thought this could happen to me. My mind was full of thoughts. My hands were shaking now. This meant everything in my life was going to change. My quiet, lonely days were over. This was a lucky day. My future would be very different. 5. They came back. The news of my lottery win traveled very fast. It seemed like everyone knew about it. Suddenly, my quiet house was not quiet anymore. My phone, which had been silent for a very long time, started ringing. It rang many times a day. People I had not heard from in years called me, but most importantly, my sons called. All 3 of them called me. First, my oldest son, David, called. He said he missed me very much. He asked how I was doing and if I was well. He said he wanted to visit soon, perhaps that very week. Then my middle son, Mark, called. He sounded very happy to talk to me. He told me he loved me and wanted to see me as soon as possible. My youngest son, Peter, also called. He was full of kind words and warm greetings. He asked if he could come over and help me with anything around the house. It felt very strange after so many silent months and years. Soon after the calls, my sons came to visit me. They did not come one by one. They came together, all 3 of them, on the same day. They walked into my house with big smiles on their faces. They gave me warm, strong hugs. They asked many questions about my health and how I was feeling. They asked about my house and if I needed anything fixed. They wanted to know everything about my life. They said they were very sorry they had not visited me before. They said they had been very busy with their own lives, their jobs, and their families. They wanted to be close to me again, they said, and spend more time together. It was a big, sudden change. Before, they never had time for me. Now, they seemed to have a lot of time. They sat at my kitchen table, drinking tea and eating cookies. They talked about their jobs and their children. They laughed loudly. They told me many stories about their lives. They acted like a loving, caring family. I listened to them, but a part of me felt very confused. This was so different from before, when I was completely alone. Then, something even more surprising happened. My ex-husband came back. He stood at my door one afternoon, just a few days after my son's visit. I had not seen him for a very long time, for many years. He looked different, maybe a little older and tired. He looked at me with sad eyes and a serious face. He said he had made a terrible mistake by leaving me. He told me that walking away was the worst thing he had ever done in his life. He said he wanted me back. He wanted to start our life again together. He said he still loved me very much. He promised things would be different this time. He asked for another chance to be my husband. He said he missed me every single day. He wanted to be a family again with me in our home. 6, I said no. My sons and my ex-husband were in my living room. They smiled at me. They talked about how much they loved me. They said they wanted to be a family again. I looked at their faces. Their eyes looked happy, but I remembered many things. I remembered the quiet house. I remembered the long, lonely days. I remembered cooking food for only one person. I remembered drinking tea alone. My phone did not ring. My sons did not call or visit. I felt invisible. I felt like they forgot me. I also remembered the day my husband left. He told me I was too old. He wanted a younger woman. I watched him walk away from our home. My heart broke that day. I cried many tears. I thought I would never be happy again. For many years, I felt this pain and sadness. Now they were here. They wanted to be close to me. They wanted my love. But they came back only after I won the lottery. This thought was clear in my mind. Something inside me felt different now. It was a new strength. I was not the same woman they left. I found my voice. I felt strong and clear. I knew what I wanted and what I did not want. I looked at my 3 sons. Their smiles were big. I took a deep breath. "My sons," I said. My voice was calm and steady. "I remember the times when I was alone. I remember the silence." I paused. "My answer is no. I cannot accept your love now. It does not feel real." Then I looked at my ex-husband. He tried to hold my hand. I moved my hand away gently. "You left me because I was old," I told him. "You found someone new. Now you want to come back because I have money." I shook my head slowly. "I said no to you too." They looked very surprised. Their smiles disappeared. They did not understand, but I understood. I wanted real love, not love for my money. I wanted true kindness, not false words. I was not a fool. My heart was not for sale. I wanted honest, real love. I had waited for it for a long time. Now I would wait for it again, but on my own terms. 7, a good friend. Throughout all her sad times, one person was always there for Deborah. His name was Mark. He was her kind neighbor. He lived in the house right next to hers. Mark always had a friendly smile and a soft voice. He saw Deborah often, especially after her husband left and her sons stopped calling. He noticed her sadness. He did not disappear like others. He stayed. Deborah remembered many times when Mark showed her true kindness. She often felt very lonely. She would sit in her quiet house, feeling forgotten. Mark would sometimes come to her door. He would ask, "Are you okay today, Deborah?" His simple question meant a lot. It made her feel seen, not invisible. One afternoon, Deborah was in her garden. She was thinking about her empty life. Tears came to her eyes. Mark was working in his own garden. He saw her. He came to the fence between their houses. He did not ask many questions. He just listened. Deborah started to talk about her pain. She spoke about her husband leaving and her sons forgetting her. Mark just listened carefully. He did not offer easy answers. He just nodded slowly, showing he understood. This listening made Deborah feel a little better. She felt a connection, even in her deep sorrow. Another time, Deborah became sick. She had a bad cold and could not leave her bed. She could not go to the shop for food or medicine. Mark noticed that her curtains were closed all day. He came to her door. He knocked gently. When Deborah answered, he saw she was not well. He asked if she needed anything. He went to the grocery store for her. He bought her some soup, bread, and important medicine. He did not ask for any money. He just wanted to help his friend. Mark often brought small gifts. Sometimes it was a plate of homemade cookies. Other times it was a fresh flower from his garden. He would just stop for a short chat about the weather or local news. These small acts of kindness were like warm lights in Deborah's very dark days. They showed her that someone cared. He never talked about her money problems. He never asked why her sons did not visit. He never spoke about her husband who had left. Mark treated Deborah the same way always, with great respect and simple kindness. He saw her as a person, a neighbor, and a true friend. He did not see her problems or her loneliness as a reason to stay away. He was there for her when she had nothing. Deborah knew that Mark's friendship was real. It was not based on what she had or what she could give him. It was simply based on his good heart and his care. He was there for her when her family had forgotten her completely. This made his friendship very special and very important to her. It was a comfort she deeply needed. His presence made her feel less alone and less invisible. It gave her a small hope that true kindness still existed in the world. She was very grateful for her good friend, Mark. He was a true example of what a good person means. Deborah knew she was lucky to have him in her life. 8. My happy life. My life is very different now. It is peaceful and happy. I wake up each morning with a smile. My house is quiet, but it feels full of good feelings. I have money, but I use it wisely. I think carefully about how I spend it. I do not buy things I do not truly need. Instead, I use my money to experience new things and make good memories. I love to travel. I have visited many new places. I saw tall mountains and wide oceans. I walked in old cities and learned about their history. Each trip brings me joy and helps me see the world. I also enjoy my hobbies. Gardening is one of my favorites. I plant colorful flowers in my garden. I watch them grow every day. The green leaves and bright petals make me feel calm and happy. I also read many books. I can spend hours lost in a good story. These simple activities fill my days with pleasure. Mark is still a very important part of my life. We spend a lot of time together. We often drink coffee in the mornings at my house. We talk about everything. We share stories and laugh together, making each day brighter. Sometimes we go for long walks in the park. We enjoy the fresh air and the sounds of nature. We watch the birds and enjoy quiet moments just being together. His company is a true gift. He is always kind, patient, and understanding. He never asks for anything from me. He is just there, a good and faithful friend, always ready to listen. I am not lonely anymore. The deep sadness I felt for so long has gone away. My heart feels light and full of hope. I have learned a very important lesson. True love is not about big promises or expensive gifts. It is not about people who only come back when you have something they want. Real love is found in simple, constant kindness. It is in the people who stay with you, who support you, even when you have nothing. It is in the small, everyday actions that show true care. Mark showed me this. His friendship is real and strong. This new life is much better than I ever thought possible. I am truly happy now, surrounded by genuine peace and friendship.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.